I think that the move the president has done is good. He has talked of the mismanagement of the economy. We all know how much money the past government has made from taxes and how much money they have borrowed. But looking at what they have delivered, one would wonder, since so much was given to them, why is it that there's too little for us to enjoy from it? So he is promising...
Your point is that they have been given so much,
yes,
and yet they have little to show.
Yes, sure.
And I'm sure you're drawing that inspiration from to whom much is given, much is expected.
Sure.
Okay. All
right. So they have a lot of taxes. Even a tax that all Ghanaians were against e-levy, they still forced and pass it through. They spoke about investing in what we call Agenda 111, one district, one factory.
Yes.
Which is laudable, very good. But to it, what are we benefiting from it? We have not seen any positive impact. For me, I have not seen any positive impact from this one district, one factory. I don't know the number of people who have been employed under one district, one factory, to an extent that the last 2 months of them leaving office, they tried to employ over 100 and something thousand, 20 something thousand people in the last minute. Where were all those people? And they were not employed if we had one district, one factory going on. And the one district, one factory going on, what is the economic benefit? And what has it done to reduce our importation? That is my question. Because we need projects industry that would bring about import substitution so that we don't have to import things from outside. But you go and brand a motor assembling plant that was already in existence in Tamale. I know of that place as one district, one factory.
Which motor assembling plant are you talking about?
There's a motor assembling plant just by the central mosque of Tamale.
You know that for a fact?
I know that for a fact. It was branded. And the man has been there ever since I was in Tamale. He's been fixing motors. I've bought motors from him before. So you see that it was not properly done. There was some...
But in relation to that,
yes.
I mean, the NPP's government has explained time and again that the whole idea of a 1D, 1F is not necessarily to start a factory off the ground.
Good.
And that there are companies that would require some kind of a stimulus or some kind of a support. If the company deserves that kind of support, they are more than happy to give the company that kind of support. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a company which is starting from... Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right. If you want to give the support to a company to grow, it must produce two things to me. It must employ more people.
Okay.
And it must produce products that will reduce our importation of goods and ensure that our CD is strengthened.
Okay.
Which of all these factories they have labeled has done that? They should tell us. Then we know that, yes, they invested in them, they gave them cheap loans, they assisted them with funds, and they've done this. And this is the number of people they have employed. And this is the amount of money that we would have used to import things that they have produced. I don't think they can produce. If even they can, it will be about 3-4% of it. The rest have all gone away. But check in NDC, even when there wasn't a promise of one district, one factory, Atuabu Gas, all their one district, one factory, Atuabu Gas has swallowed them. This was prudent investment and prudent management of the little resources that we have. We went for a loan, and the loan is paying for itself. Kotoka International Airport, Terminal 3, was a loan. It is paying for itself. And even the chief executive officer, who sometimes sits in this studio, who was then the board chairman, sits on this studio. He was a board chairman there, and he saw the benefits. And he could even buy Christmas trees, big Christmas trees. for the airport, it's paying for itself. Tema Port is paying for itself. That is prudent investment. Legon Medical Center can pay for itself. Rich Hospital is providing important social services. It can pay for itself. The Harbour Hospital, the Bank Hospital, all those things are prudent investment that the money was used to implement. They should tell us which of their one district, one factory has employed more people. At Tuabo, how many people are they employing? Several people are being employed. Tema Port, several people are being employed. Legon Hospital, several. Airport, several. That is what we as laymen want to see when we say you are investing in a company that will help Ghanaians. But to invest in a company that at the end of it all would not even employ 2 more people to add, it's not prudent. If they had invested, to me, in Tamne irrigation project, which was virtually complete, they just left with the canals for the water to flow for a big, large farm, a garden, farming project at the back. Look, we could have reduced the 200 million that we are spending importing tomatoes from Burkina, because that area alone can give us several thousand of acres of land to cultivate tomatoes, onions, and then the rest. So I think that this is where we are looking at. This is why me as a layperson, I'm not an economist, but my lay economics tells me that you don't invest in something that would not make a change and think that you've done something good. If you have a company, if Ghana was their own company, would they do that? No, they would rather go and put it where they'll make money. You don't give money to people who are doing importation against those who are doing production. Because most of the companies that they funded, most of them were importing. They were importing from outside. It means that they are rather creating jobs for other people. The only thing they do is to get salesmen to go around and do sales. If they were manufacturing things in Ghana, some of us would have been very, very happy. But I don't think that that type of investment they did was correct. For instance, JM is saying that they are going to ensure that 30,000 youths are trained in agriculture so that they will produce enough to take away, to reduce the importations that we do on food products. MPP had a lot of millions for planting for food and jobs. Meanwhile, we are importing onions, we are importing tomatoes, we are importing several things. Where did the planting for food money go? It means that it was not prudently used. It means that there was weak governance, there was weak controls of the system, there was no proper monitoring to ensure that we had a benefit of this planting for food for jobs, planting for food and jobs. A lot of silos were built, and I have one in my constituency, Garu. There's a big silo there that the roof is almost ripping off now. They have never stocked anything there. They have never stocked anything because they have not given the farmers the needed fertilizers. Because some of the fertilizers that they even brought to help them, you heard the stories, some of them were smuggled out of the country. And the minister himself came to tell us that, oh, the donkeys were moving alone. And you see, the donkeys smuggling fertilizer out. And our farmers needed the fertilizer to boost farming.
But Doc, did you believe that?
No, I believe that because the minister said it.
When he said that the donkeys are smuggling our fertilizers outside of this country, did you believe that?
No. You see, if he was just trying to say that people were smuggling it out.
I get.
Yes, he was trying to say that people were smuggling out. And that shouldn't happen under a program that was supposed to reduce importation of onions and tomatoes and maize and then the rest. Farmers need, poultry farmers need maize, and you were smuggling out fertilizers. Even look, the last thing that happened in the last month was, the last year was the fertilizer they brought, they hoarded them. They hoarded them. During election time, when we were not farming, that was when they were giving it out. Is this going to improve production? It will improve production. So the way and manner that they invested our resources, that is why the president said there was weak governance. There was mismanagement, there was irresponsible borrowing, irresponsible spending, and there was weak governance to control whoever was misapplying our monies. So therefore, calling for this forum, for people to come and tell the government how to design policies to run the country prudently and save us money, I think it's a welcome thing that we should all embrace.
Okay. Let me read this portion of the story as reported by the Daily Graphic for you, and then I'll ask you follow-up questions. The question. It says, amid a gloomy outlook, President Mahama said the economic dialogue was initiated to find solutions to the problems already identified, and not to rather recount the challenges. Yes. Okay. We're not here to recount our struggles, nor are we here to resign ourselves to economic stagnation. We're here to seek solutions that will put us on the path of growth trajectory and to ensure that we build an economy that works for every Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Okay? The president explained the urgent need for a collective effort.
Yeah.
For me, it's underlined.
Yeah.
Okay? Collective effort to reset the economic trajectory and promote inclusive growth, macroeconomic stability, and structural reforms. We're gathered here today because we believe in Ghana's ability to rise again, stressing that the insights and recommendations emerging from the National Economic Dialogue must transcend theoretical frameworks and drive real, impactful decisions that will guide the economy going forward. Okay. What it means is that the president believes, clearly from what he just said, he believes in doing things collectively, which is everybody must come on board and let's let's deliberate and find lasting solutions, okay, that are not necessarily theoretical. They must be very practical. But the economic dialogue was not attended by the biggest opposition party, okay, of this country, and I'm talking about the NPP. We all know that our biggest problem in this country is about policy continuity. That one party starts something and the other party comes and says, we have a different idea. And then what the other party has started then gets truncated. In fact, as we speak, there are a couple of things that I'm sure, and I'm very certain, that the Mahama administration will do away with. In fact, there's a gold for oil program, which the central bank, enjoys some level of autonomy and independence and so on. But I'm sure that when the central bank does something that's not good, we'll talk about it. It says the Mahama administration. So the central bank, as we speak today, is saying that gold for oil has been cancelled. That's one policy. It's been cancelled. And there will be several other policies that will be cancelled. How then do we achieve this collective decision going forward? When one party comes, they discontinue what has been started by the party, and another party comes and continues. How do we achieve this collective ambition, dream, and aspiration?
Thank you. Let me first of all tell you that it is not all the parties that do away with policies initiated by previous governments. The Mahama Mills administration inherited single spine and continued with it. We've inherited free senior high school, and we say we are continuing with it in a much better way. Inviting a party to participate for us to know, bring your argument, why this policy you started is good. Let's continue with it or we do away with it. It's very vital, and that is what we did. They refused to come. It means that argument for it may not be that very, very favorable. One, if a policy like gold for oil has been terminated by the bank, sure, it means there is a problem with it. It is not beneficial to the country. If it was beneficial to the country, definitely they wouldn't just say they've stopped it. If it was very transparent and the monies that we are getting is commensurate, the fuel that we are getting is commensurate with the gold, how the gold is being, how they get the gold in the first place, how they take it out for the, exchange it for the fuel. If it is transparent, definitely, I don't think the Bank of Ghana will just say, we've terminated this. It means that there's some amount of lack of transparency, some amount of, for lack of better word, some perhaps criminality. And that is why they are saying they are ending, or it is not beneficial to the state. Or they have another way of finding resources for us to buy oil so that we rather save the gold for other purposes. So I wouldn't say that because they've terminated this, every government that comes terminate a program and then the rest.